everyone, this is Amanda's Booktopia, and today, as you can tell from the red on the wall, I am at Target, or as I like to call it, Target. And I'm planning out my TBR for springtime, and I'm checking out some of the books. These are some of the books I'm looking at the moment. And Under the Whispering Door by TJ Klune is right here, which I have been interested in checking out, and some others. Everything always looks so good. And since I am planning my spring TBR, let's move on to my most anticipated and 5-star predictions books for the rest of the year. So what we're going to do first is go through all my most anticipated reads and my 5-star reads, and then I have some that ended up being both most anticipated and 5-star reads, like predictions. So I'm going to start by going through each stack in different categories. The first one's going to be the one with the mix with the most anticipated and 5-star predictions, because that's the least amount that I've got. So we're going to start by going from least to the highest. So we'll start with this first one, which is most anticipated and a 5-star prediction, which is I'm Glad My Mom Died by Jeanette McCurdy. I've talked about this book previously on my channel, and I am super excited because I watched her in iCarly. I know she was kind of probably pressured by her mom, and that's for doing that show. And that's one of the main reasons why I picked up this book, is because I really liked her on the show. But I am planning on reading this coming up soon for a knocked out prompt from Completely Melanie's channel. If you want to check her out, I'll link her down below. And then the next most anticipated and a 5-star prediction, well, it's kind of more like a duo because it goes together. So we have Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo, and then the follow-up, which I recently got, is Hellbent. I am real excited to get into these ones because I have not yet read Ninth House. And so I need to read that before I can read Hellbent, obviously, since I just recently got Hellbent from Book of the Month Club. Now we'll give you all the information for Book of the Month Club down below, as well as my referral code if you're interested in checking it out. So I am very excited to get into this duo. I don't know how long the series is going to end up being. If there's more, obviously I'll probably end up getting it because I love Leigh Bardugo. And yeah, that's going to be anticipated and 5-star prediction because Hellbent just came out. And the next one is one of the books I recently got in my last book haul, which is Bachelor Nation by Amy Kaufman, inside the world of America's favorite guilty pleasure from the show of The Bachelor, Bachelorette, Bachelor in Paradise, all those spin-offs. And I'm a huge fan of the show. As I've said previously in another video, my mom and I used to watch the show from the very beginning. We've seen every episode, every season. So I'm very excited to find out all the secrets behind the show. So this is another most anticipated and a 5-star prediction. And then the next one we have, which I shared in a previous book haul video, is Beyond the Wand by Tom Felton. Which is another most anticipated and a 5-star prediction, mostly because I loved him as Draco Malfoy in the Harry Potter series, and I have been so excited to get into this one. I'm hoping to fit it into a TBR very soon. This is definitely a most anticipated and 5-star prediction just because I love Harry Potter, and I am very excited to find out about Tom Felton and how it was like for him in Harry Potter. And the next one that's a 5-star prediction and most anticipated, which I've talked previously about, is A Still in Air by Holly Black. I am super excited to get into this one because I read her Cruel Prince series and absolutely loved it. I don't own that series currently, but when I did read it, I was absolutely in love with it, and I cannot wait to get into this one, as this is a spin-off to that series with, I think it was Prince Oak? Yep, Prince Oak. He is the heir to Elfhame. And then the last one, that's a most anticipated read and a 5-star prediction. I recently got this in a pre-order somewhat recently, which is Blood Circus by Camila Victor. It is very similar kind of to the Hunger Games and Children of Blood and Bone, and people who like the Night Circus, which I do have the Night Circus, but I have not yet read it. But I love the other two series, so I am super excited for Blood Circus. I pre-ordered it and it came out January 31st. So I am definitely highly anticipating this one and hopefully getting this into a TBR very soon. I'm not sure if it's going to be a series or not. We will see how the book goes. If it is a series, I'll probably end up buying the rest of them in the series. That was just my first list of most anticipated and 5-star predictions. This next pile is just my most anticipated reads of the year, besides the ones I've already talked about. And this is another duo, which is All of Us Villains and All of Our Demise by Christine Lynn Herman and Amanda Foody. I have not read these yet. However, I know it's dystopian and there's like a competition. Hopefully, I'll get to these very soon. And then the next one is another one that I'm actually currently reading. I fit this into my TBR for February, which is The Ballad of Never After. And this was definitely a most anticipated read because the third one of the series is coming out towards the end of the year, I think. And so in anticipation of that, I decided I wanted to read the series. I read Once Upon a Broken Heart back in January, and I'm currently reading this for February because I believe in my game it was for a book signed by the author, which this one is, which right there. I'm currently reading it and loving it. I cannot wait to see how the rest of it goes. And then the next one we've got is from an auto-buy author of mine, Nora Roberts. She writes in a pen name as J.D. Robb, and she does this In Death series. Next one I have from her is Desperation in Death, which I am super excited. I was able to fit this into a buzzword for Buzzwordathon by Books and Lala, so this will be later in the year that I'll be reading this. And then I recently bought, which I have not shown this in a video yet because I just bought it not that long ago. It just came out. It's a new one from her as well, which is Encore in Death. I'll probably end up showing this in a book haul video at some point because obviously she's an auto-buy author for me and I buy everything that she writes, no matter if it's in this series or any of her other books. And then the next one that's another highly anticipated read for me is Madly Deeply, The Diaries of Alan Rickman. And I shared this in my book haul video last, and it's basically diary entries that he wrote during his life. And I loved him as Severus Snape in the Harry Potter series, so I cannot wait to get into this one as well. Hopefully sometime soon I'll give this into a TBR. And then the next one is another Holly Black book. Book of Night is another highly anticipated read for me since it's still on air, recently came out. I have not been able to get to Book of Night yet. I know it's been released for a little while, but I have not yet read it. So I'm anticipating reading this at some point. It's a Barnes & Noble exclusive edition. I wonder what it looks like underneath. Oh, I didn't look at this before. This is very pretty. That part. And then is there anything on the back? Nope, nothing on the back. Just this part. But it's really cool looking. And now my fiance Ray, I think he wanted to read this along with me at some point. So hopefully we'll get to read it together. And then the next one I'm highly anticipating reading is God Bless This Mess by Hannah Brown. That's a bit of a tongue twister. She was the Bachelorette on that series, and then she was also on Dancing with the Stars and won. So I'm excited to read her book. She wrote this herself and about what she's been through the 2 different shows that she's done. So I am very highly anticipating reading this, hopefully soon. hopefully get this into a TBR at some point. And then the next one we have, as I said, Nora Roberts is an auto-buy author for me. And so her latest one that I got, I think it was last year that I bought this, because it came out last year, which is Night Work by her as well. So I have not yet read it. And of course, since she's my favorite author of all time, I have to get to this book very soon. Hopefully I'll put this into a TBR. If not for March, maybe for April. Because March is Spring into ReadingAthon with Completely Melanie and Kaylani Simply Me and Clint from Reads Readers. So I will link them down below if you're interested in checking out their Spring into ReadingAthon coming up. I'm hoping maybe I could fit this into Spring into ReadingAthon. Maybe. We'll see. If not, then hopefully we'll fit this in somewhere because I definitely want to read this. And the last one, that's another highly anticipated read for me, was a pre-order that I showed in my last book haul video. It came out January 31st, and that is Going Dark by Melissa Dela Cruz. And I didn't know much about it until Melanie from Completely Melanie was talking about this book because it was one of the books that she pre-ordered as well. So I decided to get it myself, and it sounds like a bit of a thriller where these girls went missing while they're on some kind of trip in Europe. So I'm very, very excited to get into this one. I've never read anything from this author before. We'll see how it goes. And now for our last pile of books. This is probably going to be our biggest pile of them all. And these next ones are all 5-star predictions. Besides the ones that I showed in my first stack of books. So this is just 5-star predictions, not most anticipated, just 5 stars that I'm expecting, hopefully. And the first one was recommended to me by Dana from @DanaElla. I will link her down below if you want to check her out. And that is A Flicker in the Dark by Stacey Willingham. She's the one who told me how much she loved this book. It was her favorite read of last year. It's, I think it was her very first book. I think this was her debut. So I'm very excited to check this one out at some point. And then the next one we have is Stealing Infinity by Alison Noel. I have read one of her series before. I think it was, I can't remember, it was Evermore series. Something to do with, I know the main character's name is Ever. And I really loved that series so much. It was one of my favorite series that she's written. So when this came out, I couldn't believe she had a new book coming because she hasn't published anything new in quite a long time. And so as soon as I saw this was up on Amazon, I pre-ordered it and snagged it up right away. I know there's going to be a second one in this series, which is currently on pre-order on Amazon, which I have not yet gotten, but I plan to because I want to read this first. And it's a fantasy book which is set in a school. I know this is going to be already, I'm going to be reading it this year, I think probably in August, because August is a book for a school setting for one of the knockout prompts with Completely Melanie. So I will definitely be reading this year, and I cannot wait to read it. And then the next 5-star prediction I have is Mercury Pictures Presents by Anthony Mara. This was a book I got from the Book of the Month Club. I don't know a ton about it, except that it is during World War II, and the main character, Maria, is an associate producer at Mercury Pictures. So this is basically like during World War II era, and there's a lot of stuff going on in Los Angeles, and Mercury Pictures they make movies and things. And when I first heard about this, I was excited to buy it myself, and I did not get a chance to get it when it first came out. But I was able to get the Book of the Month, and I am definitely hoping that this will be a 5-star prediction for me because I love stuff about movies and reading about how movies are made, and I love World War II books as well. So I'm very, very, very excited to hopefully get into this one at some point during the year. And then the next one I have, that's another 5-star prediction, is The Prison Healer by Lynette Noni. It's blurbed up at the top by Sarah J. Maas. And she wrote the Court of Thorns and Roses series and Throne of Glass. And by the way, I saw the Throne of Glass new covers at Target today. And oh my god, they're so pretty. I'm going to have to buy those at some point. That was my favorite series of hers, Throne of Glass, so I cannot wait. But anyways, back to the Prison Healer. This one sounds really, really interesting. It's something about a rebel queen, and that she's, this girl is fighting for survival in a death prison, working as a prison healer, so she helps, try and keep people alive. And she has to undergo this trial when the Rebel Queen's captured. So I am very, very excited to try and check out this series. I have the second book. I have not gotten the third one yet. I'm hoping I am really going to like this. It's a 5-star prediction. So if Sarah J. Maas blurbed it, it's got to be good because I love her. I love Sarah J. Maas, and so I cannot wait to check this one out. And then the next one, that's another 5-star prediction, is The Girl in the Castle by James Patterson and Emily Raymond. Raymond, that's my fiance's name. How funny is that, right? So I'm very excited about this one. I don't read a lot of James Patterson. I have read a couple of his before. However, I do have a couple of books where he's somewhat, I guess you could say, co-wrote. I don't know if he did some writing, but this one I am very excited about because it goes back and forth between past and present from now to the year of 1347, and about this girl named Hannah, and she says she's Hannah Doe and Hannah Dory. So Hannah Dory is the girl from the past, and Hannah Doe is the girl from the present. So it kind of goes back and forth, and she thinks she's the same person from both times. So it's definitely psychological, and I cannot wait to check this one out. Definitely a 5-star prediction, since I love books that go back and forth like that. And I especially love psychological books because I'm fascinated by the mind, and I cannot wait to see how this one goes. So this is definitely a 5-star prediction. And then the next one I have, that's another 5-star prediction, is The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. Melanie told me that it's very similar to Genuine Lies by Nora Roberts. Genuine Lies is my favorite book of Nora Roberts, and she also read it by my recommendation. She did not like it as much as I did, but she said that this book is very similar. And so I did find out there's some LGBTQ references in here as well. So one of Melanie's knockout prompts coming up for the year is LGBTQ type prompts for, I think it's June, Can't remember for sure, but I think so. But I am very excited to read it, so I'll definitely be reading it during that time because I'm using it for that knockout prompt. So I haven't read anything by Taylor Jenkins Reid yet, even though I have a couple of her other books, which I need to read, obviously. But I am definitely excited because Evelyn Hugo is like a Hollywood icon, and she's in show business. So I am very, very, very excited to get to this one. Hopefully this will be a 5-star read for me. And then the next one we have, it's another 5-star prediction, is The 4 Winds by Kristen Hanna. I've read a bunch of Kristen Hanna books before and loved her writing. Winter Gardens, probably one of my absolute favorites of hers. But I also liked The Nightingale as well. And because those I thought were so good. I love her writing in the historical genre more than her contemporary. So I picked this one up. And this is during Texas of 1921. At least that's where it starts. And so it sounds like a lot of fun. During the Great Plains and it's during the Great War, not the Great Plains. Great Plains is where some of this is taking place. But it's during like the Great Depression era. So I am fascinated by that time period, and I love most of the books that she writes. So I am very highly anticipating reading this, and also definitely I'm sure it's going to be a 5-star for me. Because I've heard a lot of people on BookTube talk about this book and how much they loved it, so I cannot wait to get into it myself. Then the next 5-star prediction is The Circus Train by Amina Parikh. At least I think that's how you pronounce it. I got this off the Book of the Month Club, and this was also seemed kind of fascinating to me, as this is also during World War II. So it's another historical, and there's some elements about a circus and illusionists. So I am very excited to see how this one goes. I'm definitely anticipating this being a 5-star read for me, since I love books from that time period. And I'm really excited to get to this one, so I'm really hoping this will be a 5-star read for me once I get to it. Hopefully it will be this year, because I have so many books to get to for the year. I don't know if I'll get to all the books I want to for the year, but I'm definitely going to try. So we'll see how it goes. Then the next 5-star prediction that I've got is Forging Silver into Stars by Brigitte Kemmerer. At least I think that's how you pronounce it. Did something happen to the pages? Hold on. Something happened to the sides of the pages, right? Like, I'm not sure if it's a slight rip or... Huh. I didn't notice this before. I don't know if this is new or not. That's weird. I don't know if I'll have to get a replacement or not. I mean, if you look at the side, it looks like some of the pages have been ripped a little, or I'm not sure what that is. It's definitely not deckled edges, I can tell that, because not all the pages look like that. I don't know what happened, but I don't know if I need to replace it or not. You tell me. Tell me in the comments what you think, if I should replace it. But I'm very excited to read this book. I have this planned out to read for Buzzwordathon. Yes, that's the word. Buzzwordathon with Books and Lala. So she said something to do with magic or something in the title, or something similar to. I figured forging would be close enough to magic, because it's kind of like a magical type word, I'm hoping. I might be stretching it, but, you know, I did really want to read this year at some point, so I'm definitely going to go for that for Buzzwordathon, and hopefully I will love this. Definitely a 5-star prediction. We will see how it goes. And then the next one is my favorite author, yet again, which I have not read this one yet. So that's Legacy by Nora Roberts. This was actually published before Nightwork. I just haven't gotten to it yet. But I am anticipating this being a 5-star read, because everything I read from her are like absolutely amazing. I highly recommend this author in case you haven't checked her out yet. A lot of her series are even better than her standalone books, but I do like her standalones just as much. So I'm very excited to get to this. I might be using this for one of my knockout prompts with Completely Melanie for the year, probably towards closer to fall time, probably. Unless I get this into my TBR sooner. We will see how it goes. But I'm definitely I am absolutely, positively sure, actually, this will be a 5-star read for me, since everything I read from her is always a 5-star. So that's a no-brainer. And then the next one, actually the next two, technically, one of them I've already read and gave 5 stars on Goodreads and 4.5 on Storygraph, which is Exile by Keeper of the Lost City series, and then Everblaze in that same series. I've already read Exile, gave it 5 stars on Goodreads. They do not do half stars. I wish they did, because then I would have given this a 4.5 on Goodreads. I really enjoyed it. Probably not my favorite in the series, though, even though it was a good storyline. I am excited to get into Everblaze, which is the third one, since I've already read this one for February. And I'm hoping this will be a 5-star, because this one was 4.5, close to 5. So I'm hoping this will be 5 stars once I get to this one. I don't know much about this one, except I think it has something to do with one of the groups that's been leaving her clues to her past. So we will get into this one hopefully very soon, since I've already read Exile, so Everyblaze is coming up next, so I'll hopefully get to this very soon. And then last book, and this is my last 5-star prediction, which is A Foul Lady Fortune by Chloe Gong. She is most famous, I believe, for the these deadly, I can't remember the name of the title, but I know she's more famous for that other series. But this one is one of her newer books, which I got on sale at Target, as you can tell by the sticker down here. But this one, I haven't read any of her books before, but I am definitely anticipating this to be a 5-star read, because this is in 1931 in Shanghai, China. So I love books from those time periods, as I've said before. So I am definitely hoping this will be a 5-star read for me. These Violent Delights, that's the series I'm thinking of. Yep, that's the series that she's wrote before this one. I have not gotten those books yet, but I'm hoping to at some point. The box set at Amazon was like over $30. I mean, if it's hardcover, I understand that. I'm hoping that the price goes down though, so that way I can get it for a little bit cheaper price. But I am very excited to read this and hopefully give it a 5-star rating, since it's one of my 5-star predictions. And we will see how that happens. Oh yeah, it says praise for these Violent Delights on the back. And there's all kinds of great reviews for it, as well as Our Violent Ends, which is the second one in the These Violent Delights series. So I'm hoping to get those books at some point. But I'm definitely hoping this will be a 5-star read for me, and hopefully we will see how that goes. And I'll fit that into my TBR sometime, hopefully during the year. And that's all the books that I have that I'm sharing today. My most anticipated reads, as well as 5-star predictions, and I have made a list, so hopefully I can balance these out somehow, get them into TBRs throughout the year, and we will see how it goes. Thank you for coming and watching me, and if you'd like to see more of these videos, hit that subscribe button down below. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up, and feel free to share with anybody, friends, family, whoever. I would love to see more people come and join in on my channel, so I cannot wait to see you all in the next video.